Greetings everyone, here's Lodric and this is the Game War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is my play by email match against KilRoy, the second match already. This is now the new map beta 27 or 27 beta. And KilRoy is the commander of the Allied Forces and for me it is the Empire of Japan. Let's see if there's any activity. I mean, of course, there's always sub-hunter activity around Pearl Harbor, and most of the time nothing happens. On both sides, so my subs nearly never hit anything, but also the American attempt to get rid of my submarines is not so successful. Much more successful was the KilRoy's mining operations. I lost 3 rowboats already against 4 mines. That is a blow, but rowboats, of course, yeah, they're the weakest out of all of the Japanese submarines. And my cruisers finding here one single cargo ship. Okay, not a threat, but they're using a torpedo, and there was some units, equipment on board. Okay. And in Pago Pago, I find one AG, so the Vega, plus the AO. So today is a little more successful submarine campaign. Okay, this was all only. This is now already the air phase, daytime, morning. So there are PT boats in Balikpapan, of course, to maybe defend the base against enemy direct amphibious assault. There's a scout buffalo killed by zeros, also good. Yeah. Cannot find the target. Some of my torpedo bombers failed. Good, bombardment in China. Can even kill some of the squads. And Bataan, there was some cap fighters, but looks like they don't catch my bombers. But I also don't create nearly no damage. Yeah. And some sweep, but normally there are more, but for some reason the sweep is broken up, so 2 Oscars coming first. But 2 Oscars are enough already to defeat these 3 buffaloes. Okay, but no kill. At least force them to return. So 1 buffalo can take off again. But against the zero, no chance. flag is strong over Singapore. A little too strong maybe. Losing here 2 airframes. But I can also kill 2 airframes on the ground. Okay. And 20,000 feet is, I think, always that standard altitude for if the flag is strong, like here in Singapore. Going more higher is, I think, then you will not hit more much, and the fatigue is increasing for the airframes too much. So 20,000 feet, and then this is working, or yeah, I mean Marys are only light bombers. They are even weaker than the Sally. Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe this was simply a little lucky hits from the flag. Oh, the evil seagull's trying to do something, but no hit. But at least KilRoy used everything what he have to slow down, hurt, and destroy. So my dive bombers going for some smaller cargo ships. 2 of them. Okay, nothing on board. And this is the rest of the sweep. But now there's nothing more to kill. Okay. That was the morning. This was now my own scout airplane, torpedo bomber. So there's some cap fighters in Balikpapan. Oh, makes sense. So I would say these are maybe the American P-40s out of Philippines. And there is some American carrier coming at the Marshall Islands, bombarding one of my bases. Hurting a little the base, not too strong. These are not too many bombers. So it's one carrier, more or less. And the Hudsons are coming here again. Now they're taking my ground units, more or less. Yeah, but they hit more the base. Maybe it was attack against the airbase. So, second dive bomber attack. There's still some ships in the sea. One more small cargo ship was attacked. Okay. So at least one American carrier is closing into the Marshall Islands. There's one more sub-activity, and more ships are sinking somewhere on the map. And there's a Dutch patrol craft, Manado. Battle of Jutze. Take the fort, but cannot kick out the Chinese. But the casualties are still increasing for the Chinese. Still, my tanks are breaking down, so I don't really suffer here high infantry losses, but my tanks taking most of the damage. But I think maybe next turn I have enough attack value to get here a better 2-1 advantage. This is only bombardment. I'm waiting for a little more reinforcements, and I can bombard here. I don't have any normally pressure to win here fast. Ah, yeah, this is now west of Shanghai or southwest of Hangzhou. Kicking one Chinese corps. Well, it's retreating. Source, direction Wenshao. And second battle of Clarkfield. And already the second battle of Clarkfield was a success. So I try to rush as fast as possible. 20th December. Nearly every day I make bombardment or air strikes so that there's no way to really build up the base. And bring in quickly a lot of firepower, so 3000 I think attack value nearly. Yeah, 3000 against only 400. There was I think original 600 or 700, but the first attack took already out a bunch. KilRoy still gets a bonus because it's triple defense terrain, but it reduced. I lost nearly 500 attack value and he got nearly 200 additional, but it's not enough. I have a 4-1 ratio. Can kill some airplanes on the ground. I pay here still with a lot of destroyed and also disabled. But the forces are more or less now broken. And they are jumping back to Manila. If I understand it correctly, this means I forgot to read the text. But I think they're jumping back to Manila. And this is now this new base in the water, but of course they're not in the water. I think it's also double terrain, so you can see that the Americans are also, the Filipinos are weak. They're losing 50%, but my units are also not so. Only tanks is not so good if it's not clear terrain. Some bombardment here in the north. I think I'm waiting for some little reinforcements. Ah no, this is now the Chinese bombarding me. So I have here much more firepower. And this is attacking me here, yeah, central China. I had here only some light tanks. And I was kicked out. Losing here some, these are all light tanks and armored cars. They are cheap to rebuild. This was not enough to take on so many forces, that's for sure. This was a little too much attack value. But my units are not destroyed, so I simply repair them and then it's fine. Not every battle can be a victory. That would be boring. And it's really a big difference from the first game to this. So in this game, KilRoy really play actively in China and try at least what he can do with his units he have to stop me or reduce my way to victory, or delay it maybe a little. So air war was okay, 17-10. You can see that I lost here mainly, I think, over Singapore, some airplanes. One of my torpedo bombers get killed over Balikpapan. Yeah. And the Allies lost mainly, I think, on the ground. This is all on the ground. This the buffaloes are over Singapore. This is only one buffalo, but I think this is all in Clarkfield. Out of this 10 airframes, I also have now 6 killed pilots. Okay. And ship sunk was hard to say. This is what officials sunk directly. There was more sinking sound. The AU is maybe burning out, and maybe the AG is also dead, but hard to say. Hard to say. Ooh. So in China, KilRoy had here a victory, kicked out my units. So my armored car units are more or less a little disabled, not too much. These are my light tank and medium tanks. The medium tanks more or less survive this. The light tanks take a bunch of. So you can see I lost here some light tanks, but I think most of the damage is maybe to the motorized support. This is also vehicles. So this is why in the report I lost so many vehicles, but I think they're mostly only supplies. Yeah. I'm still moving in my northern Mongolian army to clear first this unit and then maybe turn around. Here we will attack, or I will attack here again and then hopefully can break this. But it needs still more time, but slowly I can create here the task or the battle forces I want. Here was a victory. So in every normally task or army get a HQ, and then they're moving and trying to battle these Chinese forces one by one. And maybe in May I can finish here in China central source. Similar to the maybe I don't know. I think it will be slower than in the first game because KilRoy play here much more active in the roads, and the railway is not so in favor for the Japanese in the new map. So it will need more time. But I also don't need to be so successful like in the first map. Normally, if I take Xi'an and here the oil, that would be already fine. I don't really must enter Sichuan. This is then always the last step to victory. Yeah, we'll see. Still, my forces are moving on this British forces. I need more time. This is all small roads. In the Malaya, I think I also catch up now with most of the British forces. So in the next turns, I will start to wipe them out. Georgetown fall. Taiping is still here. This unit is trying to escape, but there's not much hope more. And Malacca will also hopefully fall soon. Yeah. There was some carrier activity here. There's still some tankers moving west. This, maybe tankers escaping from Balikpapan or somehow. My carrier was here, and find here some light cargo ships. They're all sunk. And here's another carrier fleet. This is the two light carriers. These are 4 light carriers here together. And here are the 2 fleet carriers. Okay. Maybe I put them together and then return to Hong Kong and rearm and refit. Here's not more so much more maybe to think. I think most of the stuff is already dead or escaped. If it's maybe still, I don't know if it's still hiding somewhere. Would be little. It's possible, but strange. So the biggest important victory was here today in Clark Field. So the Hex with his 3 times defense already taken. I have here enough supplies, so I can maybe rest here a little and then try to take Manila and then finish this in Bataan. But to take Clarkfield fast is important, and then normally rush for Manila. So Manila for the resources and that to close the port, and this is I think also the last big airport. Bataan have only a field of 1. So yeah. If Clarkfield and Manila fall, then there is normally not more much in Luzon that American can use. They can only then hold Bataan as long as possible. But for this, they need armies and supplies. Here in Rabul was nothing, but then I get the detection, not only a detection, also some airstrikes. Marshall Islands. So this I think 2 fleet carriers plus escort cruisers. So it's a question how I can react now. My carriers are in port. Yeah, they are here in port, ready to go. Normally nothing more in repair. So I maybe can go out immediately next turn. And at least I must move in this direction first. I don't know if KilRoy is only attacking once and then then retreat again and only try to lure me out. Maybe, I mean, at the end, if he keep me busy with reacting with my carriers, I cannot use my carriers for anything else. And for him, it's already enough to, yeah, only bother and interrupt my activity because I am on the move. He cannot do much more. He can only try to mess up with my plans and operations. Good. Then see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.